This week we hit the streets and try to do some flipping live. I want to prove that everything I do is transferable so that you can do it too. Come on. If you buy and sell vehicles for a profit or you want to, you're in the right place. This is the Flipping Genius podcast. Our number one goal is to help our listeners make more money. Every episode, we share information, ideas, and experiences of real-life car flippers. I'm Randy Lee. I'm the host of Flipping Genius. I've flipped cars most of my life. For over a dozen years now, I've been a licensed dealer. I am working to build the best podcast about successfully flipping cars for a consistent profit. Let's get to it, flippers. Things are going pretty great at my car lot these days, and that's keeping me hopping, and it makes it more difficult to record the Flipping Genius because you have to sit down and do it. So I thought today it's going to take you with me as I go on another appointment, and we'll talk in between. This morning I picked up two vehicles that I bought at auction yesterday. Both look like they're going to be good cars. As you know, I buy lesser expensive cars. It's just the market I choose to work in. And one I picked up last week is a one-owner Chrysler 300. Very, very nice car. Everything checked out on it. Had to put a couple bucks into it. Very little. I can't remember what it was right now. Nothing significant. Ready to go. Need to get it detailed a little bit better, but it's already pretty clean. And that one might turn me I hate to jinx it, but it's got to be at least a 2, possibly 3, possibly. And like I said, I want to jinx it. $4,000 profit on that vehicle, which, as you know, I don't buy things for more than $2,000. So I'm pretty excited about that one, but it looks good, and it'll be a good buy for somebody even at that price because I bought it right. And you make your money when you spend it, no doubt. I picked up a Honda CR-V. It is an older model, but excellent car. Only 158,000 miles on it. Runs out fine. Everything looks good on it. No lights on the dash. Good tires, cold air conditioning. It's got a little bit of cosmetic issue in that the clear coat is peeled, but I think that one is going to be a solid car. I picked up a Acura MDX, which I've had a lot of luck with Acura MDXs. They're good-looking cars. They have a lot of nice features. And this one, I've got to admit, I don't know much about it. It's got very high miles, but that doesn't really scare me. So those are the three that I'm most currently involved with, and I'm excited about those. And that's pretty much my practice. This is Randy Lee, by the way. And that's just what I do. I buy them like that. We take them down to dentists. We check them out. Now, I thought it might be a valuable thing for me to talk about this today because my wife and I were talking about how I do things and the transferable nature of what I do. And I think that is one of the big strengths of what the Flipping Genius podcast is about, is that, frankly, honestly, I really believe that if I can do it, almost anybody could do it. I've got a good credit score. That's one thing. I got excellent credit. I've got some money in the bank, but I don't use a lot of it, and I don't use any of my credit really, other than to roll some things on credit cards and pay them off at the end of the month. So you don't have to have deep pockets to do this. So that's not the key. I don't know hardly anything at all about cars, and that's come up. The two cars that I've sold a couple cars in the last 3 days, and in both instances that was an issue. It wasn't an issue that caused me not to sell the car, but just my frankness and honesty about not knowing much about the car and telling everything that I do know about a car. It number one, lets me sleep at night, and number two, it allows the the potential buyer to feel comfortable with me, because I'm not trying to get over on them or show say something slick that makes them think, this guy's acts like he knows more than he does. I probably act like I know less than I do, but I don't think so. I think it's pretty much just honest. I'm not a wizard when it comes to cars, and I'm telling you that because this is what you can do this too. You don't have to be a mechanic. If you are, fantastic. If you are, you don't have to be a marketing wizard. If you are, absolutely wonderful. Whatever your strengths are, those are great, but you do not have to have amazing strengths in order to do this business. And that was kind of what we were talking about this weekend, that I ought to talk to you about, that I ought to talk to you, encourage you, that no matter where you're coming into this game at, you can succeed. And the key, I think, to that success goes right back to that simple thing. Buy your vehicles at the right price. Do not overpay. And that's something that I've seen so many times. And do not overcommit. Don't get in over your head with credit. Buy a reasonable vehicle that you know you can turn a profit on. And this is going to be a pretty great thing you're getting involved in. Get in over your head and you will be angry that you ever did it. I hope that's not the case, but I do realistically want to say that if you make a mistake and get too much money invested, just like in anything else, you can be upside down and be in trouble fast, because in addition to the fact that maybe you'll get vehicles that aren't selling, or vehicles that need excessive repair, and maybe you've got way too much money invested. In addition to that, you've got the opportunity for that nightmare of unexpected repairs, because you've got a motor vehicle that has potential to break down and has potential to be very, very costly. I don't want to rain on your parade, but that's the reality. So you've got to weigh all that in. And if you are in a situation where you've got to win, you've got to get this thing sold, and you've got to get a significant profit, it can be devastating to your young business. So be cautious when you start. Do not overextend yourself. And I guess what I'm talking about here is where I'm buying 20-year-old Honda CR-Vs and investing around $1,000 in them, knowing that I can probably sell them for $3,000 and walk away with at least a $1,500 profit after I sell them. And worst case scenario, I lose $1,000 that I invested, and maybe I'm not going to even lose all that, because we can sell it for scrap for a few $100s. Whereas if you were to buy, let's say, a 7-year-old BMW 5 Series, and you paid $25,000 for it, thinking that you're going to sell it for $40,000 once it's repaired, which is really exciting. Yeah, that's an exciting thing, $15,000 profit. But then you find out that the repairs cost you $9,000. And then you find out that nobody will really give you the 40. They'll give you 36. See where this is going. And then what if something else unexpected comes up? Now you're talking about not only a loss in your expected profits, but a loss in income, and you've tied up this money for a period of time. And if it's your money, that's fine. If it's creditor's money, even worse. I'm not saying it's really fine to tie up your money, but if it's creditor's money, now you're costing interest on top of the lost opportunity of that money. So I'm giving you all this on the way to something else. I'm on my way to look at a vehicle, and I thought I'd lay this down. I'm about 2 minutes away, so I'm going to sign off on this break, and then we come back. I'll tell you a little bit about what happens at this potential purchase. And for right now, take a little break, and we'll be right back. Hey, thanks for listening. And I want you to consider becoming a Flipping Team member. And when you do, we will share with you a startup kit that is valued at $250 or more. And each month, you'll get our Flipping Team Member Success Pack, which is also designed to help you make more money. Each and every month, you'll get more bonus material and other information because you're a Flipping Team member. Go to flippinggenius.com and click on the Flipping Team Member button to learn more. All right, back to a day in the life. As I said earlier, really busy the week this week and a lot of stuff cooking, so I thought it'd be meaningful just to take you along on the ride. And as the ride took us today, I came out to look at 3 vehicles that were at a back lot for a mechanic I know, and the vehicles were a '08 Chevy Impala that has some. It runs and drives, but it's got a lot of issues with the suspension and the brakes, and just not been cared for. The folks could not afford to do the repairs on it, and it's going to be pretty costly if I pay for the repairs too. But still, decent looking car, and it's still got some life in it. It only has about 130,000 miles on it. That was one. The others were a Ford Freestyle, Ford Freestyle. I think it's a 05, I believe. I hope I've got this right. It's a 05 Ford Freestyle. It's a SUV, and that one, it looks like the transmission is gone on it. Again, not worth me repairing because of the way I do things. I don't do the repairs myself. But I'm not telling you this because it's a dead end. This is not a dead end. I made a couple dollars, in this little interim while I wasn't talking to you. And the third one is an old Honda Accord, which I kind of liked. It's a '99 Honda Accord. It's got 238,000 miles on it, and it runs like a champ. AC works. Everything works on it. The air conditioning the transmission's got a little skip in it. It's automatic. It's got a little skip in it between second and third, but it's a little jump, but it seems fine. I drove that one. Did not even mess with the other ones. I heard the Impala start. So those were the 3 that he had ready to move, and here's what I did with them. And this is the fun part. And this is something, I was talking about earlier, things that are transferable, things that you can do. My name of my company is Middleman Enterprises. I don't talk about that a lot, and there's a reason for middleman. It's kind of what I've always been. I've been involved in between making deals of different types for decades and decades. I'm pretty old. So that's sometimes that's exactly what I do. I do some wholesaling. And those first 2 vehicles, I was able to pick up the phone and call 2 other licensed dealers who I thought would have an interest. And I was able to put that deal together. I made a quick $400. And I helped the mechanic because those vehicles are going to be moved off his lot tomorrow. And the purchase is being made based on my recommendation, which I've built up a reputation that I know what I'm talking about, or at least I'm able to describe it accurately. So, I will once the deal is done, I'll get $400. I don't have the $400 in my pocket for that yet, but I will, because I know the buyer, I know the seller, everything's going to be cool. And by this time next week, yours truly will have $400 extra in my pocket, which paid for this. I think it was there for about 18 minutes total, maybe 25 minutes by the time I got done talking on the phone. The third vehicle, the Honda Accord. I really wanted to buy it because I know the market right now is crazy. Even though it's old, I know I could sell it. But I have a friend who's been asking me if I could find them a vehicle for their son, and it's a situation where they don't have a lot of money. They just and they weren't going to be the ones who were going to buy a car from my lot, and if they did, I was going to feel inclined to always be worried about fixing their car. So I told them, I'm going to find you a deal, and when I find you a deal, I want you to come buy it for cash, and that's going to be between you and whoever you buy it from. Don't call me for repairs. There's no warranty on this deal. So I was able to arrange for them to buy this 99 Honda Accord for $500, and that's a whale of a deal, because I probably could have sold that car for $2,500 with a little bit of cleanup. And even sitting here talking about it, I kind of wished I would have made the money. But the fact is that we're all out here building reputations for ourselves and building relationships. And this is a business relationship in a couple different levels for me, on not in the car business. I mean, my interaction with these folks, it honestly, I'm not doing it to make money, but I know it will make me money. Sometimes you do these things just to help, and later on it comes to you. And frankly, I'm very, very excited about that. They were so excited that they got to the mechanic's shop before I left, and this car was left there because the people couldn't use it anymore, and it's really got nothing really wrong with it. They were a little bit worried about the transmission, and they thought the battery was dead. It just needed a charge. But the new folks that I recommended buy it, they brought their $500 with them, and were in the process of doing the title work as I left. So very excited. They're very excited. They're probably listening to this episode, and I know they'll be tickled to hear about Scotty's new car. Scotty, congratulations. Be careful, man. It's a nice looking little vehicle, really. It's got a lot of miles, but it's a nice looking vehicle. So that's what I did in between this break and that break. So again, transferable skills. Find the deals. You don't have to buy all the deals. Find other people who want the deals, flip the deals to them, and that's another form of flipping, right? And quick. I made $400 and really, really helped somebody out. And now it's on for the rest of the day. I'm going to take another break, and I'm going to come right back with some more good stuff, I think. Hang on. Jeremy Fisher created a course called 3-Hour Car Flip and 3-Hour Car Flip Academy that I think is exceptional. Jeremy walks you through the steps of becoming a car flipper and how to be successful. He does it in a way that, frankly, I didn't think I could duplicate for the same price. So I recommend Jeremy's course on our podcast website, flippinggenius.com. Go to the resources page, click on more great stuff, and buy Jeremy's course for less than $50. Frankly, I'll be surprised if you don't make 10 times that much on your first flip. Go to flippinggenius.com, click on resources, click on more great stuff. Trying to take you along a little bit, but it's hard to take you directly along. So I'm just reporting after each opportunity that I come across this day. And this is one that I've been telling you about in past episodes that I do frequently. I've got an old pickup truck that I'm trying to sell, and one of the ways I sell pickup trucks frequently is at job sites, construction job sites. So I had about 20 flyers that I printed up in English and in Spanish for an old Dodge truck that I'm selling. I went out and posted them. One of the little secret places I post them at is at the porta potties at construction sites, and I'm talking about residential construction sites where they're building single family homes in our area. I suppose this is different wherever you're at, but I think this is fairly common. A lot of the workers that work on these job sites speak Spanish, only speak Spanish. Some of them it's their first language. I do not speak Spanish. My flyers always say seller does not speak Spanish but welcomes Spanish speaking buyers. And then I also try to pass out a few flyers, and usually this will generate a sale of a truck. I got a cheap one, so I'm pretty sure it will. It didn't today though, just to be honest. I did put the flyer in the hands of I think 4 different crews, all within about a 2-block area, and posted the rest of the flyers I had at some porta potties, and put a couple up underneath the windshield wipers of a couple others, and had a couple discussions and invited people to call me back. But it didn't generate a sale yet, but it is something that probably will. And again, I'm trying to share things that I do that are completely transferable, things that you can definitely do also. And one of the reasons that I'm talking about this is I've seen some input on our car flipping forum where people are just asking, where do I get started? What do I do? I've gotten some questions like that from people, members of our forum, and also some emails that came to me from the podcast. And I thought, well, this is exactly why we started Flipping Genius, because I knew that I had things to share with you that you could duplicate, and then I could bring other folks on, like I have in the last few weeks. We've had some great guests. Tori Boyd last week was another guy who does a lot of things that are very transferable. Tori is more mechanically inclined than I am, but not a lot, and he's had some great success. And of course, we had Vic the Flipper, Vic 44, I think. Vic 45 come in a couple weeks ago and talk about that, and anyway, go, if you haven't listened to the past few episodes, please do, because there's some great episodes of some more specialty items. But the fact is, you don't have to be real specialized to be successful in flipping. The real key that I'm trying to stress today is work within your own abilities. Don't get in over your head, and buy smart, buy low, and if you can't buy low, if you can't buy at a price that's going to generate virtually a guaranteed profit, my advice is don't buy at all, because that's just that's what I do. It's what I've done. Going on, I think, 13 years of licensed business, and I've been flipping cars pretty much. I guess it must be, wow, it must be over 30 years now that I've been doing this one at a time. These days it's many more, but the same principle is there. And I mentioned the car flipping forum. I invite you all to join if you're not a member, and if you are a member, please participate. Please ask questions, please answer questions, please share ideas. And if you would like to be a guest on a future episode of Flipping Genius, please reach out to me and tell me what you'd like to talk about. You can reach me at flippingquestions@gmail.com, or just message me directly from the Car Flipping Forum group. It's a Facebook group. Just go to Facebook groups, search Flipping Genius, and you will find it, along with our selling groups in various areas across the United States. And if you'd like to be more actively involved in one of those groups, they're free to join. And the folks who help me manage the groups, help grow the groups, and have the opportunity to market their vehicles and market to find vehicles in a more competitive advantage, I would say. And we can talk more about that if you're interested. Also, I'd invite you to become, as you've heard on one of the one of the breaks, become a member of our team member, or a Flipping Genius partner, Flipping Genius champion. All of these are levels of contribution to the cause, and as you contribute more, I give back more. Pretty simple as that. Would love to have as many as we can, because this is it's a labor of love, but always looking for a way to generate some income so that I can spend more time on this and less time out doing what I was doing today. Not that I don't love doing what I was doing today, because it is a lot of fun in the flipping business. It's you kind of have your own canvas. You make your own business out here, and there's opportunities, even in a market where cars are selling, I think, more than they should be selling for. If you stick to your guns, you can still buy vehicles. Literally looking at my computer right now, and the vehicles that I've bought this year, actually profits are up. My profits are up this year per car, and I've kept my costs very reasonable. And of course, part of that is not buying the wrong thing, and then having the right people to help you as far as your repair and detailing and things like that. Love to hear from you, and love to get you more information. We've got some great new episodes coming up, but this is the one for today. I think that's about all I wanted to share with you today. I hope this has been of benefit. If you've got any questions for me, or feel free to send any questions to flippingquestions@gmail.com. Try to answer all those personally as quickly as possible. I appreciate you listening to the Flipping Genius. Please share us with your friends. Please share us on social media. Please check our website, Flipping Genius with 1G, flippinggenius.com. And definitely check out the resources page. You can see all of the resources we've lined up, and we are lining up, ways for you to save money, ways for you to get some education, ways for you to be more prosperous in this flipping business. And while you're there, you can link on our YouTube channel. See a lot of our episodes are on video, and other videos that I've made that I think will be of help to you. And all the other good stuff that's on flippinggenius.com, including every episode of the Flipping Genius podcast, is there for you to listen to anytime that you want, including this one. It was available before you ever knew it on the website, because that's where they're available first. Usually about close to 12 hours earlier than they come out on all the other resources. Hey, let's work together. Let's make some money. Let's all become flipping geniuses.